What is going on, you guys? It is March 15th, so the Ides are with us, and it's a bit of weird weather, okay, which is normal for Colorado this time of year. Today was in the mid 60s. Tonight, it's going to drop down to 17 degrees. It's going to snow all night, so we've got weather moving in. All right, I got my trusty Stargazer 8.0. I've had that pack for like 12 years. Still use it. But I've got the full hot tent set up in there. I've got the wood stove ready to go. Everything is in that pack. So I'm gonna load up and get started. Well, the rain has already started. I'm in a t-shirt because it's still in the 50s. But it's gonna get colder and colder and start turning into snow. I can tell it's early in the season because my cardio sucks. So this is an old abandoned trail, guys, that the Forest Service no longer maintains. It's on my GPS. It shows on my GPS. However, oh Lord. Whoa, I just went through the ice into the water. I went ankle deep in the water, but it's okay. My boots are waterproof. Anyway, abandoned trail. There's some cool areas out here I want to check out. Maybe find a little vista where we can set up camp and get stuff going. Okay, the wind's picking up, and it probably sucks because I have no wind filter for this thing today. We're just gonna go basic. All right, I found a cool spot. Check it out. I think I'm gonna set up right here. It's a nice little area. And what's cool is, because people haven't been camping here much, there's firewood everywhere. Now that I have found this cool little spot, I need to get set up pretty quick because weather is moving in. And my first priority is gonna get that tent up. I'd like the tent up, all the gear inside. If rain hits or snow hits, we'll be good to go. After that, I'll probably start looking around about maybe where to hang a bear bag. I had to put on some warmer clothes now that I'm not hiking. Got some long sleeves and a hat on. A basic camp is set. So we're good. If weather moves in, we're good. Now we can start thinking about food and other things like that. So let me take a look here, show you around. The tent I'm using, guys, is the Luxe Mini Peak XL. The wood stove I have is a titanium Light Outdoors. It's a 12-inch cylinder stove. I just threw a tarp on the ground, and on that I've got the Big Agnes Air Core with a Thermarest. Let me see, there you go, Z-Light on top, just for warmth. And then I have a 40-degree synthetic bag, as well as a 30-degree down quilt. If it gets really cold, I put that down quilt inside the synthetic bag, almost use it like a bivvy, and I'm good to go. So, pretty cool little setup. And I am gonna start looking at a place to maybe cook a little food. Actually, no. I'm gonna gather firewood. That's the first thing I should do, is get some firewood. All right, let's find it. The good thing is, when you look around where I'm at, it has not been picked through, that's for sure. Sometimes you'll find spots that are somewhat popular and all the damn firewood close by is gone. That should be enough wood right there. It's not even gonna get down to freezing until probably 4 in the morning, 5. So I don't think I'm gonna be burning this stuff until AM. Well, camp is there behind me. Pretty much got firewood ready to go, and I wanted to show you guys the food that I brought. So let me show you real quick the food that I have. This is 2 dinners, 2 breakfasts, and then meals through the midday for 2 days. All right, so here is what I have. As far as the stove goes, I just brought a twig stove. I also have the tent stove that I'll be cooking on as well. So between the 2 of those, I should be good. And what's nice is no canisters, no alcohol, no fuel, other than twigs. One beef stew, got that for a dinner. For my other dinner, I've got minestrone. That's a dehydrated minestrone. I'm gonna do that for a dinner, as well as one of my lunches. I have 4 tortillas to go with those soups. I've got Milky Ways and 1 Cliff Bar. And then with that Cliff Bar, I've got a honey almond butter that I squeeze on it while I eat it. Super good. Coffee, oatmeal, that's breakfast. I brought a big spoon, no titanium spoon, because it's soups mainly on this trip. And then electrolytes. Electrolytes are key, you've gotta have them. Especially at my age, I drink a lot. Cooking gear, I brought a 5-piece mess kit, standard little Ozark Trail mess kit, and a Tokes titanium 350 milliliter cup to be drinking from. I think I'm gonna do some coffee. Didn't realize how hungry I am, my gosh. Coffee and a candy bar. Get you going. It is getting dark quickly, so I think I'm gonna put that stove together and get ready to head into the tent, get set up. It's starting to get cold. Kind of see my breath a little bit, but it's not cold enough to start the stove up. And I do want to wait until it rains a little bit, until we get some snow, before I really light that thing up, just to be safe. I don't want to start a forest fire. I shouldn't. There's a spark arrestor. It's totally legal to use right now. But I'm just being a little bit safe. So I'm going to chill here and just kind of kick it and relax for a little bit for another hour or two. And then eventually when I hear that snow starting, I'm going to cook some stew up. Well, I laid down and slept for a few hours, and I woke up, and it is below freezing and snowing. The tent has snow all over it. I think we're good on wood. Get a little more air in there. All right, so I fell asleep at 8 o'clock. I just crashed right out and slept for like 5 hours. It's about 1 in the morning. I woke up to snow. It's about 29 degrees outside. I just checked the thermometer. So it's starting to get colder. Got the fire going, and I never ate dinner. So I'm actually gonna cook some beef stew up and kind of get going from there. I'm probably gonna eat, maybe go back to sleep now that it's nice and warm in here until the sun comes up. We'll see. Well, I'm just lounging here. It's nice and warm. I'm probably about to take the coat off. Got that water boiling, and I can't wait to eat. It's so nice just to lay here listening to the snow. Sometimes freeze dry is not the most appetizing thing when you look at it. Boy, it's good out here in this situation. Man, that is good. I think, you know, it's middle of the night. I'm eating dinner closer to breakfast time than dinner time. But I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna try to go back to sleep for a little bit and see how the morning looks. Well, I am up for the day. I think it's close to 6. And this wind and snow keep coming in pretty hard. I have, here, let me show you. I've used way more of that firewood than I expected to, because I didn't think I'd be burning it until this morning. All right, I got my coat on, I got my boots on. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's gonna be a bit of a different landscape out here. Oh yeah. Compared to yesterday, this is an entirely different feel. So, the good thing is, we should have enough snow that I can get clean snow to melt for water. And hopefully, we get enough light out here that I can charge my battery a little bit. So I am just sitting here drinking some coffee, kind of relaxing as I watch the the snow come down. It is nice and warm here in the tent, but we're gonna get snow for the next few hours. So I had some wood that I stashed under a tree out there, and I went and grabbed it real quick, and I've been processing it here in the tent. It is messy when you process wood inside the tent. It goes everywhere. However, I need more wood. Now, some of this stuff got wet, so a little secret is you want to put that wet wood right next to the stove, let it steam and dry out before you burn it. It'll work a lot better. All right, well, I'm gonna make more coffee, but I need water. So I'm melting snow. Here's what it looks like. I've got some up here melting. I've got another cup to throw in there. When you melt snow, you want to start with some water in the pan first so that you don't burn the snow. It's kind of weird, but it can burn, and then it tastes bad. But I'm gonna keep melting this down. It takes a while. You need more snow to get water than you'd think. But I'm gonna melt it down, get some water, maybe fill up one of my bottles too. All right, that snow has melted, and I'm letting it boil for a minute because I don't have a filter. And I'm sure hoping that doesn't make me sick to do it. I've done it a few times before. But I'm gonna let it boil for a minute before I make some coffee, and then I'm gonna rinse and repeat and fill it up a couple times so I can get some water bottles going. Snow coffee. Tastes just fine. So that wind is blowing, the snow is still coming down, but you can see how this tent is sagging, you guys. So once the snow calms down a little bit, I need to go outside and re-stake this tent and pull it out taut again. It has stretched. So I've got the last of the snow here boiling. I can get that into the liter bottle in a minute once it cools. But I've got chores to do with the stove. So when you're camping with a hot stove like this, or a tent stove like this, I should say, a hot tent, an ultralight stove, they fill up with ash, they fill up with coals. And once that happens, there's not enough air in there to really burn the fire or to get that fire going. So I've got to leave this door open. I'm going to let these coals burn down. It sucks because it's going to get really cold because outside is 18 degrees and here is nice and warm. Once that gets cooled off, I'm going to pull the pipe out, take the stove out, dump it, and then I'll bring it back in and get everything set up. All right, that stove is almost cooled off and ready to dump and clean. But before I do, I'm just getting everything ready so I can get that thing started right back up. It's so cold out there. The way I like to do it is I've got some tinder here, which is just some dried up pine straw. I've got a fire plug from Bigfoot Bushcraft right here that I'll strike to light that fire. A little more tinder to put on top. Once that gets going, I like to feed some very small twigs and get those started. Once those are burning, I can start putting some bigger wood on. Got the little sticks. This is where, if I'm not careful, I'll put too many in and drown that fire out. So I gotta be careful. Get just enough. Here, take a look. So I got this small little fire, and then I'll move up to some bigger stuff here in a second. Hey, we got fire. Fire! Some little stuff. There we go. What I really need to do now is push all the snow back. Whoop. Push all that snow back. Get it off the tent. And restake it. Always something, right? Look at that nice tent. Well, I've got everything tightened up. I went outside, moved the snow away, got the tent retightened so it's nice. I got a lot more room now. And got the stove cleaned out. I've got snow melting again. So everything's coming together. I am probably gonna get firewood. I need some more firewood, and then might start thinking about doing some lunch. Maybe. Where's it? Hey! I need water, but I also want to go check out kind of what it looks like, see if there's any tracks around or if there's been anything else in the area. That's the cool thing about snow, is that you can kind of see if anything else has been around. It is so nice and quiet when that wind goes down. I have seen zero tracks of any sort around me, which is kind of what I thought with this weather. They're doing what I should be, hunkering down. So the snow has kind of stopped out there. I put the solar panel outside of the tent, and I've got the battery pack sitting here inside. Hopefully it keeps it warmer and it'll charge okay. It is completely overcast. There is no sun. So I would love to see any sort of charge trickle through. That sun is starting to peek out. It's trying to. I have been stacking firewood over here. Let me show you. I've got a bunch of firewood here kind of just stacked up to keep it out of the snow. I need to process that. There's my thermometer, my little Govee thermometer. It's Bluetoothed into my phone. But it is calming down, not much snow. And if we could get some sun. All right, I'm gonna check that charger out, see if we're getting anything here. Well, looks like we're at 12%, so we're charging from 0 to 12. It's been about an hour and a half. So, I should have power, at least some. It has really calmed down out there, you guys. No more wind, no more snow. I took that solar panel and put it out in the field. Hopefully it'll get a little bit more sunlight out there, we'll see. But my goal right now is to eat some food. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna be making minestrone, kind of an early dinner, if you will. I mean, it's getting close to 5 anyway. I've got snow water up here in my pot, or my pan, pot pan. It's kind of a mix in between, hybrid. And once that water starts boiling, I'm gonna put soup mix in, and then I'm gonna let it cook for about 15 minutes and rehydrate. Then the meal should be good. My plan is to eat that soup, use my tortillas to kind of clean the bowl up when I'm done and get everything out of there so that it's not such a mess. This is gonna stink the tent up though. I'm pretty sure it's gonna stink it up. So we'll see how much hassle that becomes. I really don't want to spill this stuff in the tent if I can help it. I think that's enough right there. Gonna let that cook. Get a little more pasta in there. A little bit more pasta. All right. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's gonna take about 15 minutes. And I'm not gonna put a ton of wood in, I just wanted to cook slowly. So this stew is just about done, or this soup is just about done. It looks great. I've got Salt and pepper. I'm gonna throw a little pepper in. And I'm gonna throw some salt in, just a tiny bit. I always need salt when I'm sweating a lot. Plus electrolytes, that reminds me I should drink some electrolytes. All right. I'm excited to see how this works. This is just Bear Creek soups, dehydrated soups, or freeze-dried soups, whatever they do. So much more economical than like a beef stew Mountain House or something, right? So, let me see. That was good. It's hot. Man. See, that's a good way to do it. The problem when you're cooking like this instead of a freeze-dried meal is that you're cooking out in the open, right? Like the smell from this food is just soaking in the tent. But it's really good. Man, that late lunch, early dinner was good. I like the soups. It's a nice way to do it. Plus hot food and a cold day, nothing better. I have had a long day of just melting snow, gathering firewood, and that sun is gonna be setting soon. It never peeked out, never saw it. I'm gonna walk over here to the solar panel and see if we got any charge at all. Well, that charger did work a little bit. I've got the battery pack at 21%, and I'm gonna leave it out here until it gets dark just so it can trickle in. But again, that sun never came through the clouds. It's just been cloudy all day. It's been a long day. Melting the last of the snow that I'm gonna need. I needed more water than I thought. So it's just been a constant process. I am just about done for the day. I've had dinner, got wood set. I'm gonna sit here and try to nap for a minute while it's still kind of light out and it's still a little bit warm. Get a little bit of sleep. Well, I was laying down here trying to nap, and something happened that's never happened before. I burned a hole through my tent. So let me flip this around. Look at that hole. I didn't even see it. I heard a pop, so a big old ember must have come through. And I patched it already with some tenacious tape. I just threw that right on there. That stuff works very, very well. Well, guys, that snow has moved in slightly. It's gently coming down, which is nice. I've got the stove stoked with wood, as full as I could get it. And I'm going to try to get a few hours of sleep. And if I can, when I wake up to put more wood in here, I'll try to film a little bit and see how long it lasted. Good night.
All right, guys, it is 1:30 in the morning. I went to bed at 8:30, so I got 5 hours of sleep so far. It is now cold enough that I need to get that fire restarted, so it's going to take me a second to do that. The fire has gone completely out. I was warm enough here in bed that I just stayed in, didn't even notice it went out. And in fact, I'd be fine right now, but I do want to warm up the tent, so...
So because I didn't have that fire going, this whole tent is now frozen. I've got to get that heat going. All right, I have got that fire restarted, and I'm going to get it stoked back up so I can heat this tent. It's cold. Well, it is now 3:30 in the morning. I slept another couple hours, laid down, kind of slept. But I went to bed at 8:30. I'm kind of up. So I'm probably going to make some coffee, start cleaning up a little bit, and packing up. So I'm going to try to get out of here in about 2 hours. The sun should be up in about an hour. So I'm going to start loading stuff up. Oh, let me turn that off. I'm going to start loading things up, get it going. But right now, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. I'm definitely going to do a coffee. Cafe Bustelo. And I don't have much else. Let's see, I've got minestrone, which I'm not gonna cook right now. Trash. Drinks. Almond butter, that might be breakfast actually. I think it is. A honey almond butter. I didn't put it on my Cliff Bar like usual, so I might just have some of that. I should have oatmeal. Where is it? Oh, and I have oatmeal. Little maple and brown sugar oatmeal. The problem is I don't have a lot of water. So without a lot of water, I'm not going to cook the oatmeal. And I'm not sure I want to melt more snow. I'm kind of tired of it. So that is the plan. Let's get this water boiling. Dead, dead, dead. Bam. All right, that should fire up nicely. Well, it is getting close to 5. At 5 a.m., I'm going to start packing and getting things put away. I'll put the stove up last. And once everything's packed, I'll take the tent down and strap it to the outside of my bag. It's just wet. I don't want to roll it up right now and frozen. I can dry it out when I get back. If you look behind me, there's almost no firewood left. Pretty much had the right amount, which is nice. I hate going out in the middle of the night and gathering firewood. It's just not fun, especially when it's snowing. So anyway, finishing up the morning here, I had some almond butter. I had some coffee. And I think I'm good. I'm going to pack up. All loaded up. Got the pack ready. You can see where home has been for the last 3 days. And now I'm going to hike out, and hopefully this snow, I don't think it melted yesterday, so I should be able to hike on it with no spikes, hopefully. It is a nice, quiet hike out of here. And I'm glad nothing melted because it's easy to walk in the snow without spikes. But got about 1.5 miles and I'll be at the car. Well, I made it back to the car and it is covered in snow as expected. I'm gonna sweep this off, scrape the ice, and get going home. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye.